Welcome back. Amidst heated controversy over actors who fuel tension and actors who are hounded by the fringe, actor Nawazuddin Siddiqui adds a fresh twist now. He's come up with a video stating that he's an artist above all and cannot be classified into a religious bloc. The video has not only gone viral but has also raised some eyebrows. NewsX says time and often backed artists who have made soft targets and slammed vehemently those actors who stoop to publicity stunts or fail to unite with one India. While Nawazuddin is of the view that he is 100% an artist, but can artists be above all?
See, your belief is your belief. Your religion is your personal matter. It has nothing to do with anybody else. Okay? It's as simple as that. And if he chooses to have his identity seen as that of an artist, it's perfectly fine. Okay?
I actually...
Right, and for more of the story, I'm joined by Ram Subramaniam, who is with us via Skype. Ram, what's your reaction to this video that's just gone viral? Do you subscribe to what Nawazuddin says? And the important question is that can there only be one identity of the professional, that is in this case of an artist, or do other identities even matter in a society such as India?
Yeah, I completely agree with what Nawazuddin is saying. You need to have an identity as an artist. An artist is above everything else, which is a religion. At some level, I also feel that an artist transcends borders and ideologies and philosophies, because if it isn't for art, how do we go forward? How do we move forward as a society? Art paves the way for that. Art shows you the vision, so you need to let artists be. And I'm very happy that Nawazuddin has made a video like this and put it out, and from what I've heard, it's gone pretty viral.
Well, absolutely. But the question, Ram, that many would raise is that, ultimately, of course, we've seen artists being targeted, on the base of religion, on the base of region. And, of course, we've also seen artists engage in publicity stunts in the past as well. But the point is this, that ultimately, to say that it is one profession, the profession of the artist, that is above all religions, do you think that's an argument that will be easy to convince many in this country about? Because religion still, for many, is the primary concern more than any other profession.
It is not an easy thing to convince in this country, but if the political class decides to make a point out of it and say, like, we will leave art alone, then it will be by itself. In some cases, the debate also is, like, should religion be a part of politics? I mean, that's a larger debate, but we will not touch that right now and keep it to artists. I think artists should be left alone.
All right. We're also joined by Ira Trivedi, who's with us live from New Delhi. Ira Trivedi, your views on this video, if you've gotten a chance to see it, what are your thoughts? Do you think that Nawazuddin's message is well received, that it is a message that is very practical and, in fact, is an attempt to quell all controversy surrounding the mix of religion or maybe other issues, social issues, which many sort of get mixed up with art time and again, particularly with filmmakers?
Absolutely. I think his message is practical, and I do think that, for whatever reason, especially when it comes to film, because Bollywood really does drive our country, and it is in many ways a mirror for many things, because so many people watch movies that often religion and film get intertwined. And while I don't think it's good to do that, it's when a filmmaker makes a film, it's not propaganda, it's art. There's a difference between propaganda and art. If the government makes a video, that's propaganda. If a filmmaker makes it, that's a form of art. But I do think that this mixing up of the two things and pointing fingers to Bollywood is a very simple thing that people do, and I don't think that it should be done so much, because after all, art is art and propaganda is propaganda.
All right.
And in no way is, if religion is displayed in a particular way, that's not trying to incite people. It's just a filmmaker's point of view. It's one limited point of view, and that's absolutely fine. If I write a book, I'm not trying to influence people. It's just my point of view.
All
so
right.
I think it's very easy to point fingers to Bollywood, but I don't think it's the correct thing to
I
do.
request both of you to stay on with us. We have our first caller joining in, and in fact, I'd like to request all our viewers to call us, express yourself. What do you think about this video that's going viral? Ashwin is with us now from Pune. Go ahead, Ashwin. I'm afraid we've just lost that line there with Ashwin. We will try and reconnect with him once again. But clearly, of course, this is the video that has been released by Nawazuddin Siddiqui. That's going viral. Clearly, of course, Nawazuddin is trying to de-link religion from art, is trying to, of course, put out the message that clearly, whatever he is as an artist and not as someone who is just associated with one particular religion. We have Matthew joining us from Bangalore as well. Go ahead, Matthew.
A very good evening.
Good evening, Matthew. Please go ahead.
Yeah. See, one thing I have to say is that, the artists, they get a lot of stardom, fame, money, everything. It's fine that they stick to that rather than come out with unwanted comments and, provoke the people and get into debates and, divide people. Because once you are a star, obviously people will follow you. So it's better that you reserve your comments, because every comment that you make, it can have repercussions on either side. So it's better that they be more mature and don't come out with unwanted comments. That's the first thing out. The second thing is that, this kind of drama like, portraying about religion and other things and then saying that we are 100% artists, it's all just real rubbish. See, when the real cause is there, you're seeing across the nation. Now you have just seen that some of our CRPF soldiers have been martyred and all. For all those things, these people don't come. They just come when they want some publicity, either when a film is to be evidence to them.
All right.
There are a lot of issues where they really have to step in, which can help the people at large. They don't come there. Maybe
All
a
right.
few handful may do.
All right, Matthew, thank you so much for joining us with your views. We have Ashwin from Pune still with us. Go ahead, Ashwin.
Hi, are you able to hear me now?
Yes, Ashwin, please go ahead.
Okay. My point is very simple. See, basically I'm from Chennai, so let's look at Kamal Hassan, Rajinikanth. Okay, Rajinikanth came in at about 1996 to topple the government of Jayalalitha, and that was the only time which he did, and afterwards he went back into obsolescence as far as politics is concerned. So 20 years, nothing happened. Now there is no more, and then all these people are coming in again, which actually means that I'm saying they don't stand for with any kind of a conviction, be it for a political cause or a social
Okay.
cause. But as and when they chip in, I'm saying about just to create some ruckus, they chip in and try to gain
Okay.
the other callers get maximum out of it.
All right, Ashwin, thanks so much for joining us with your views. Let me take those views back to our two guests who are with us. Ram is still with us. I'll come back to you, Ram. Important point that's been raised by our two callers who've just called in, common citizens who are expressing their views on this. Number one is that they've given two examples where they say artists have in the past demonstrated that they don't stand for any one particular political view and that they can be fickle, they can change their views drastically over time. That is point number one. Second point being made is that very often we see all this happening, or these sort of political or social campaigning happening only at the time of the release of their film or so on and so forth. So clearly, of course, in the minds of citizens, there seems to be a lot of doubts as to why artists rake up these sorts of social causes. Is it only for their personal benefit?
I don't know if it is only for personal benefit. I'm sure there are some people who, some artists who bring it out at the time of a release of a film. I think Matthew's concern being that artists should not provoke people. I think art exists to provoke people into thinking in new directions. So I wouldn't put too much thought in that point of view, simply because that is the purpose of art. If you don't think, what is the point? If they don't give you a direction to think, then what is the point of an artist?
That apart, the point is they could be doing this for their own publicity. That's the point that I was asking you about. Isn't that a clear possibility? In today's day and age, it's instant publicity when an artist comes out and speaks in this manner.
I am not aware of Nawaz's film which is being released, and I'm not sure if he's doing it for publicity, because this is the first time I'm seeing something like this come out of Nawazuddin.
Okay.
So,
Let me ask Ira the same question as well. Ira, do you agree with what Ram is saying, that most artists genuinely believe in the causes that they are propagating? Because some of our viewers don't seem to agree. They seem to think that a lot of artists, particularly film stars, seem to do this just for their own films or any other form of art that may be about to release.
I don't think it's the artists who are doing it. I think it's the government who's doing it. I think it's the media. They'll make a buzz out of it. It's when the government will point fingers that something will happen. And it's not just for religion. It's for things like Urta Punjab as well. When Urta Punjab was banned by the censor boards, suddenly this whole thing became a hype. So I do think it's the censor boards that typically come in. They typically say something, do something, and then the filmmakers try to lobby support by talking about it, by expressing their point of view that what we're feeling is correct. And this is all really, the censor board is trying to make a hoo-ha of the whole situation. So I do think that it's not personally artists or filmmakers who are using.
All right. On that note, Ira Trivedi as well as Ram Subramanian, I'd love to thank both of you. We're completely out of time, unfortunately. But thanks so much for joining us with your views on this extremely controversial viral video.